The president is not a king.
Senator Jeff Merkley sharing his thoughts on President Trump. The senator and other Oregon lawmakers say they're suing the White House to stop the president's order to put a freeze on federal grants.
And some city workers in Portland could go on strike as early as next week if a deal isn't reached this week. Coming up at 6:30, I'll tell you where contract negotiations stand between those unions and City Hall.
And Alaska Airlines landing a big local headline, announcing more flights to and from Portland starting in just a few months. KGW News at sunrise starts right now. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We have Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill standing by. Hey, Rod, yes. We want to talk about another dry day in the area, but really the biggest headline is the fact that we are going to see a change in our weather pattern here.
Yeah, it's been, today's day 17. We'll tie the record for consecutive dry days. Moisture coming in tomorrow overnight. And all of a sudden, we're tracking the potential of low snow levels into next week, meaning low as in anybody and everybody. More on that coming up. But let's get you out the door first. Here's a live look down in Salem at our state capitol. Same old deal, clear skies, frosty conditions, 29 degrees. 28 in Portland. We have light winds except for east winds still gusting this morning, or they have returned, I should say, out near the gorge. But today overall is another gorgeous one. 44 degrees at noon. Sunny skies will have us up to about 50 or 52 for a high. Here's Chris.
So the frosty start, but so far the drive, at least locally on I-84, looks pretty good. That's out near 82nd Avenue. Traffic rolling along just fine on that side of town. The trip out of Clark County on I-5 getting a little bit busier at SR-14, but so far no major trouble on the roads heading into Portland. I do want to take you out to Clatsop County real quick. Guys, a pair of crashes now. One on Highway 30 near Tongue Point, between Fernhill and Tongue Point. There is certainly some local slowing getting around that. And another one on US 101 south of Astoria near the Gearhart area with some, let's try that again, Gearhart, slowing the southbound lane of US 101. So a pair of crashes in Clatsop County, but outside of that, right now we're off to a pretty good start.
Thank you, Chris. So Portland police are investigating a shooting near Southeast 125th and Division right now. It happened around midnight in what appears to be a parking lot of a local business. We don't know if a suspect was arrested or if anyone was hurt here, but we have reached out to police for more information and are waiting for a response. We'll continue to update you as we learn more on this.
Today, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is set to face his first Senate confirmation hearing as President Trump's nominee to lead the Department of Health and Human Services.
Meantime, yesterday, the president offered 2 million federal workers the option to quit now and still get a severance package. The White House telling workers who didn't want to return to the office that they could take a deferred resignation and get paid through September. The Trump administration saying it expects 5 to 10% of the workforce to take them up on the offer. Now, President Trump also signed a broad executive order restricting gender-affirming care for minors. So it prohibits federal funding from covering things like hormone therapy or surgery for those younger than 19 and restricts grants to hospitals that provide that care.
Also yesterday, a federal judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration's freeze on federal grants just minutes before that order was set to take effect.
Ashley Graham breaks down what we know and how this freeze could impact people here in the Northwest. Good morning, Ashley.
Yeah, good morning. President Trump ordered this pause in federal money so that agencies can review their spending and ensure it matches his policy goals and executive orders. Here's White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
So what does this pause mean? It means no more funding for illegal DEI programs. It means no more funding for the Green New scam that has cost American taxpayers tens of billions of dollars. It means no more funding for transgenderism and wokeness across our federal bureaucracy and agencies.
Temporarily blocked the order not long before it was set to go into effect, and Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield said he'll join other state attorneys general in suing to stop the White House from pausing federal grants.
And when you exceed your powers, it is part of our responsibility on behalf of all Oregonians to hold the Trump administration accountable and the deal that they have made to ensure that these programs can be funded.
The federal judge that temporarily blocked Trump's order says the pause will last until Monday. We expect to hear about a more permanent decision next week.
Bottom line, Ashley, we're going to hear a lot of questions about all this between now and next week. I know we've already heard from some local nonprofits.
Yeah, Drew, we checked in with Meals on Wheels in Southwest Portland. They say about 35% of their funding comes from federal dollars. Last year, they fed about 11,000 people here in the metro area. And while they say it's too early to tell how far-reaching this funding freeze could be, they expect it could be a huge hit and are worried it could impact how many people they can feed. China, Drew?
Ashley, thank you. We have also been tracking the president's recent crackdown on immigration, but Portland's police chief says the agency will not engage in immigration enforcement. In a letter to the Portland community, Police Chief Bob Day said that he is committed to serving all residents regardless of their immigration status. Day's statement comes about a week after Portland Mayor Keith Wilson issued a similar letter to City Council, pledging that the city would maintain Oregon's sanctuary laws.
All right, different topic now. How many times have you heard someone say, I never use algebra in my day-to-day life, but I sure could have used a class on managing my money? Well, state lawmakers are working to make financial literacy a high school graduation requirement in Washington. Under this proposal, financial literacy classes would be offered by the fall of 2029 and would become a graduation requirement starting with the graduating class of 2033. We heard from a teacher in Olympia who already teaches a class like this.
I wish I had had this class when I was in high school. And I have so many students that, they teach siblings, they teach their parents. I've had parents like at open house say, can I come and take this class?
A similar bill came up last year in Washington, but it didn't make it out of the legislature. State lawmakers say they feel optimistic that this version of the bill will make it through this time around. News from Boeing this morning. The newest earnings report shows the company posted an almost $12 billion loss last year. Boeing says the machinist strike last fall played a huge part in those losses. That strike stopped work at plants in Oregon and Washington for 7 weeks. Production also slowed after the door plug blowout incident over Portland last January. Altogether, the company has lost more than $35 billion since the deadly crashes involving 2 737 MAX 8 planes in 2018 and 2019. In response to those losses, Boeing has given layoff notices to about 10% of its workforce.
The Oregon City Pool will close temporarily next month for repair work. The closure will begin February 26th and last until April 6th. The city says the month-and-a-half closure will be used to replaster and retile the pool. Memberships will be extended to account for that closure, and any memberships bought during the closure won't start until April 6th. The community room, which hosts fitness classes and kids camps, will stay open.
Johnny, remember 29 days ago we celebrated the start of the new year?
Mm-hmm.
We're celebrating the new year again today.
Ooh.
This time it's the Lunar New Year, and the celebration is going to be a mighty celebration for weeks to come at Lansu Chinese Guards there in Portland's Old Town. Coming up here in our 6:30 half hour, we're going to talk to some of the people there who have some really fun things planned over the course of the next few weeks, all to celebrate the Year of the Snake. The Year of the Snake, Rod Hill. We've established in years past that you and I both born in years of the tiger.
Yes.
You in 1962, myself in 1974.
Did we establish that you and I, because of that, are considered mighty?
We share tiger blood is all I really know.
Okay.
All right, that's good enough. All right, here's a look at 28 degrees out the door in red, a KGW weather impact alert to remind you it's another cold, frosty start. Big coats, maybe some extra time needed depending on your routine. But this will be another sunny, warming day. Freezing temperatures through about 9 a.m. and then we go up from there, 44 at noon. I have the high at 52 today, pretty much where we were yesterday, and then still clear skies and 49 at 5 p.m. So here are those cold temperatures out the door. Coldest spot, Battleground, good morning, 21. It's 31 in West Lynn, 31 in downtown, 36 out in Troutdale, where the east winds are blowing in close proximity to the gorge. But Gresham, you have light winds at 28. So not much of a windy area overall. 24 degrees is the number up in McMinnville. The bricks are cold, the bricks are dry. 17th morning of dry weather, at least the 17th day of no measurable precip expected. That ties that record we've been tracking going back to January of 1948. Long record, 28. Here's Levi, our KGW dog of the day, sitting there nice and proud, looking up at the camera. Use that hashtag KGW dog of the day. We'll find your photo, and your dog will become our dog of the day. Okay, forecast temperatures for you this afternoon at 3 p.m. There will be cloudiness at some point approaching the beaches, but certainly a sunny start for you folks this morning. You'll get up to about 50 again. We'll have temperatures around 50 degrees for highs up and down I-5. Mid-50s in Bend, that's nice. I'm warming up somewhat out east as well. This shows John Day at 47 degrees. All right, 7-day forecast, 52 today. We cloud up tomorrow. Rain could come in before midnight tomorrow night. Certainly a rainy Friday, including when you start your day. It's a showery, cooling pattern this weekend. weekend, we have snow levels that could be close, if not at the valley floor at times, for snow showers starting Monday and Tuesday of next week. And that brings up the KGW weather impact alert, which we hope grabs your attention that you need to keep updated as we start next week. Back to you.